Hey everyone, how are you doing? Today I'm going to be tackling the question of whether you should run ads to new books. That's running ads to brand new books on Amazon, because there are various things that you should consider before you do this. So personally, I'd been on KDP for around a year before I started to learn ads, and that was just, learning the basics. And I should have started before then, but I just didn't. I was actually earning a full-time income before I ran any ads at all. But when I did start learning ads, what I did was I ran ads on books that already were established and had 5-star reviews at that point. So I was working with books that I knew had already had some success. And then it was only once I was really confident in the whole process and I knew exactly kind of what I was doing that I then decided to start running ads on new books as well. And there are a couple of reasons why I run ads to new books. So the first reason is to get them ranked and gain visibility on Amazon early on. So as you may know, when we first publish a book on Amazon, it does get a little bit more visibility. It kind of gets a boost in the algorithm temporarily. You really want to get your initial sales in that little time period where your book is boosted up in the algorithm. And if you don't, it can sink incredibly quickly into, the abyss of Amazon. So what I want to do with the new book is to run ads to get those initial sales really early on, ideally. And hopefully those sales will then lead to reviews, which will then boost the book up even more and so on. And there's kind of a snowball effect at that point. I'm fully prepared when I do this that the ad is not going to be profitable. I'm expecting I will lose money initially. But if I can't get the ACOS down early on, then I'll just wait till I have a few sales. I will pause the ad and then just hope for some reviews to come in, which they may or may not do. And then if I do get even one 5-star review, then I can start the ad back up again. Sometimes I can optimize the ad enough that the ad's still profitable, and that's great. So I can just keep that running in that case. So before you run ads to brand new books, there are a few things I think that you should consider. So ideally, you already have made sales on KDP and are familiar with ads to begin with before you run ads to new books. So that's what happened in my case. I ran ads to books that had already made sales organically. That means without ads. And they had some reviews. So I knew that they had already kind of proven themselves, if you like, as books that are going to sell. Because the ideal scenario is learning ads by running them to books that you've already established. The second thing is you should have a budget that you're comfortable with losing. And ideally, the budget will come from the profit of your books that you've already made. So you don't want to kind of go in from the get-go and you've made zero money on KDP, you've made zero sales, but then you're going to be spending a huge amount on ads and just kind of hoping for the best. Ideally, you've already had some success with sales and you already have some reviews and you have a budget from the profits that you've made. But if you're not confident with your books, then really you should go to an outsider for their opinion. And I don't just mean asking your friends and family, because too often they're just going to tell you what you want to hear. There are Facebook groups you can post your designs in, but in that case, you can get ripped to shreds. So that might not be the most pleasant experience. You do run the risk, of course, if you have got a good idea and a good niche idea, that someone's just going to steal it. You could go to someone privately and ask them, maybe someone who's had experience on KDP already and you trust that they're going to be honest with you. So the other thing is you need to be prepared that if you have not run ads before and you're just learning it, it can take, months to learn the whole process. But it is an investment. It's an investment of time as well as money. And also it's worth remembering that if you do want to run ads to a book in a really competitive space, then this could end up costing you tons and tons of money, and there are no guarantees at the end of that. So you really want to check beforehand by literally searching for the keywords that you might be targeting on Amazon and looking at that first page and seeing what's there. Are they all traditionally published books that are running sponsored ads? Because that's a problem. They will have a much bigger ad budget than you. So ideally you want to see some independently published books that are there and with the sponsored listings that are selling well. And also you need to look at those books and think, can you compete with them? Check out the competition and see if realistically are you going to be able to get onto the first page with your ad. There are so many books on Amazon with sponsored listings that don't have a BSR, and in many cases you can see why when the book is just not good enough or not good in comparison to the competition that's there. So I have had success with running ads to new books, but I do recommend that you've had some organic sales first, or at least you are fully confident that your book can compete against the other books that are already there on the first page, and that you can also run ads to that book. It's not just full of traditionally published authors, because then it's going to cost you, a ridiculous amount of money to have any chance whatsoever, and you probably won't, because the thing is, it's not just about how much you bid. It's lots of variable factors. But if there's a traditionally published book that just gets a huge amount of traffic and a huge amount of clicks, Amazon's going to choose to put that book on the front page of Amazon in the search above your book, even if you're willing to pay a lot more for that space, because Amazon wants the books ultimately that get the most clicks and get the most sales. Amazon can figure out very quickly if your book is suitable for the keywords that you're putting in, and if anyone is really interested in it in comparison to the other books that they're putting on page 1 or page 2, wherever it happens to be. Okay, so I don't want to kind of go down the rabbit hole talking about ads now. I just wanted to talk about running ads to new books. So let me know in the comments whether you run ads to new books or if you're just running them on established ones. Also, I might be doing a Q&A video quite soon. If you do have any questions that you'd like me to include in the video, then please let me know in the comments. So I will leave it at that for today, and I will speak to you again very soon.